We move from town to weary town, where doors don't close the same as before. People don't ask who we are first, they ask what came there before. Names vanish overnight, not spoken, just known as gone. And mothers hold their breath too long when certain footsteps move along. To take them still leaves a weight that won't let go. Because there are places just behind us where children leave and don't come home. Something missing from their soul. We hear the town speaking fragments, half warning, half remembered. Pain of what arrives without a banner. I learned what order means before I ever heard it from their tongues. My father spoke it through a bottle's breath and silence after damage done. He'd come home late with heavy steps, too loud for peace to ever stay. And my mother learned to read the floor, to know which version came that day. He say, be the good they are, like it could wash the stains away, while every wall still held the nights he swore. He never acted that way, he never wore their uniform, but still believed the things they taught, that broken things could still be used if shame was tightly overwrought. And men in quiet robes arrived, speaking like they knew the false had broken homes were proof enough that order answers. After all, they took his words and made them steal a lesson carved into my name. Be the good they aren't, they said, like it could shift away the blame. And now I hear it when I speak that holy, not redeeming light to something learned inside a home that never once knew how to be right. They believe light towards both divine command. Divine command. They follow blind to what the truths couldn't stand. Couldn't stand. Now they see it was fear dressed up as eternity. I don't call this righteousness, I don't know what it is anymore. Too many futures fade away behind the same closed door. They call it order, call it faith, like that should make it hurt less than it does. But every name I've ever heard still sounds like someone I once was. We keep moving through the valleys where fear sits quiet in the air. Some people hear us and step forward, some just stand and pretend we're not there. We don't take more than what is given. We don't pretend we know what's right. We just keep walking through the silence that follows every sleepless night. Somewhere far, lights ward marches on, a line of footsteps without soul. They say they bring salvation here.